KEVEN-KQ0U.
Roger, Roger. Station calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were getting wrapped up. I was just, the irony, I think this is the audio guy here, and I'm just trying to fine-tune my FTDX-10. Have you got a minute?
I surely do. I blew my earlier show with no audio. I have a computer that has a lot of normal conditions in it that I have to change to make it work for my show, and I must have missed one of those controls because I wound up with a beautiful video, but that doesn't help since we're doing an audio thing. So I'm just trying to maybe come up with some other audio. What's the call there again?
Yeah, it's Kilo Quebec 0 Uniform. Name's Kevin here. We're in eastern Iowa.
Kilo Quebec 0 Uniform, is that a Roger?
Yep, Roger.
And what's the name there?
Yeah, name's Kevin, and we're in eastern Iowa, just south of Iowa City.
Roger, sounds pretty good. What radio are you running?
Yeah, we're running a Yaesu FTDX-10. I picked it up about a month ago, but I haven't spent much time with it, and I kind of done the basic settings on the audio. And that's kind of where I'm at. I haven't had time, and I don't have a lot of time. I don't know how much time you have, but I recognized your voice. I need to write down your call, but I recognize you as being certainly a guru in the audio world, and I thought, this is ironic. I was just going to experiment with my audio, and I found you. So, but FTDX-10, PR40 by Heil. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, what we normally suggest is first making sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth mode, 100 to 2900. That will allow your transmitter to operate as best it can. Otherwise, if you're in the lesser modes, you start rolling off the top end of your audio spectrum, and there goes the neighborhood as far as articulation. So we want to be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Yes, okay. I'll write that down. 100 to 2900. And, I'm new. I don't have enough hours on this radio, so I would be slow, but I'm going to take notes here and see what you think. And I don't know if you have an oscilloscope here to see if I'm clean. That's priority for me, is to be clean and to be a good neighbor, and then go from there. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, that's why we suggest the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It allows you to be all you can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight at 2900 before you're into somebody else's conversation. So it does have a little slice of daylight for you to not be splattering into somebody else's conversation. So 100 to 2900 would be the ideal transmit bandwidth. Then into your compressor processor, and we would just want about a 3 out of that, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor, just a third of that. It might make sure that it's on, and 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Yeah, I think someone else is in there. On the processor, that's easy for me to get to on the menu, and I do know I'm running about 17 out of 100. 17 out of 100, over.
Yes, sir. 3 out of 10. I'm brain dead. 3 out of 10 and 30 out of 100 are the same. So that 30 would be ideal if you're marked off in up to 100. Roger.
And I've done that. And one thing, like I said, I want to be a good neighbor, number one. And then number two, I want it to sound okay. And so I typically run this Yaesu, I'm going from a 1995 Kenwood 870 to this FTDX-10, and I'm just floored. And I've got an external monitor. I feel like I'm in a studio. The one thing I'm paying attention to is on the S meter. I've got a lot of choices, and right now I'm on compression, and I like to keep it down at 10 dB or less. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, I think at a 30 out of 100, you would be that way. The ideal way to test that is to dead key your microphone for about 4 seconds. And if you're looking at your power output meter, it should not rise substantially. That is, what you're talking about is release of the compressor, and if the compressor is too high, it'll start riding up there at 50% or 80% or 100% if it's really up there. But if it's down around a third, it's not going to come up too high when it's fully expanded, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Just looking at the parameters here, I don't know. Like I said, this will be my. I think I've messed with the settings 2 times before, and I really, after having this Kenwood for so long, it was kind of, my security blanket, if you will. So this year, I'm kind of lost. But I guess to your ears, what do you think could be improved upon there?
Well, listening to the bottom end, I'm listening to you on a 7300, which is flat down to 100 cycles, and I'm listening to you on a monitor system, house monitor system that is good down to 40 cycles. It has a subwoofer in my audio monitor system, so I can hear the full range of the radio. So I'm about as full range as you can get as far as copy in the mail, and you do seem to be maybe just a tad heavy to my preference, and if you were to come off EQ-wise, a couple of clicks of roll at about 200 cycles. So I would suggest putting your equalizer, your bottom end, at 200 cycles minus 3. 200 cycles minus 3. Flat in the mid-range from 400 cycles on up to 1.5 kilohertz, which if you have a 3-band, that would be just that middle audio adjustment, the mids from B flat or off. And then on your treble side, if you have the ability to adjust your frequencies, I would put that at 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz is the ideal push frequency, and if you have a width control, I would put it on a 4 width, and then I would put it on a +5 push, +5 on your treble control, width of 4 at a 2.7 frequency. Roger?
Okay, you've got me doing a lot of homework here. So, and I am, let's see here. Okay, I think I made an adjustment on the low end. Is that perhaps any better at all? Over?
Yes, sir, somewhat. Maybe you're at 200 cycles and a width of 4, Roger?
Okay, all right. That gives me a start. I do listen via monitor on the headphones, but I know that's just a barometer. It's not really what we hear over the air. So, and I know that the PR40 can get bass heavy. So I do want some articulation. I do want it to be full, but I don't want it to be overbearing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you have a 2.7? Can you make your treble frequency 2.7?
Oh boy. You know what? Off the cuff, I haven't spent enough time on this radio. You're asking that I bring 2.7. I narrow my bandwidth overall. Is that correct?
No. On your equalizer, you have a 3-band equalizer. Is that a Roger?
Yes, that is correct.
And on the treble control, if you can adjust that frequency on your treble to a 2.7, can you do that?
I probably could. My radio's kind of far away from my operating position. That's one of the reasons why I got a screen, is so I can see what everyone always asks me, what does their signal look like? And I always say, well, I'm too far. The way my shack is my equipment's off to the left, so right now it's not convenient, but I am taking notes the best I can there.
Roger, I tell you what, man, you are really close. I would just leave it just exactly like it is, because you're really sounding good right now. I would run it just like that, and if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded tomorrow by noon. Roger?
That is exciting. A friend of mine did the same thing, and I thought, and I can't even remember your name. I'm just trying to take advantage of your wealth of knowledge, so I'm writing down all this information, but it's just a pure chance that I caught you. Otherwise, how does a person know your schedule?
Well, we're only on Fridays from 3:30 till 5 on 7188. Just on Friday afternoons, Roger.
Oh, very good. And I don't, this is kind of my second place. I call it a cabin out in the country. But I don't have internet other than my smartphone. What is your name?
Name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and the call sign is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. KC9VKV. Roger, we're located down around Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where you are. We took a little family vacation a year ago last March. It'll be 2 years ago this March, in New Albany, historic area, and we spent 5 days in a bed and breakfast, and of course, you got Whiskey Row. I've learned that I need to jump on this bourbon bandwagon, but we didn't have enough time to see everything there, Jim.
Roger, that's where we are, New Albany. But, normally nobody would know where that is, so we just say we're just across from Louisville. Roger?
Good. Oops, very good. I run a flip switch, Jim, that's off of an old sewing machine that was 80 years old, so I'm kind of that way. I like nostalgia, but one of these days I'll get a real flip switch, so every once in a while it gets a little funky, but I'm glad I ran into you. I consider it an honor, and I guess, yes, you're my approval that maybe it's okay, and as far as you know, Jim, it seems to be I know I need to tighten things up on the upper end 2.7, but right now it appears that I'm just a little wide.
I think you're beautiful. I think you're just absolutely perfect. Now that I've listened to you, the signal is much improved than when we started. So I would just say, just throw those notes away and just run it like it is. You have a very conversational voice. Your compression is working out for you now. Since we moved it up a little bit, sounds very, very nice. So I would just leave everything, as is. Because what happens is sometimes when you move your compression level up some, it brings the bottom and top end up, and you don't need to equalize that because it brings it up on that compression. So I think having maybe changed just a little bit there is just, like I say, just perfect. But you be the judge, man. Like I say, this audio will be available by noon tomorrow, Roger.
And I hear you're a popular guy. I hear someone in the background button, and I don't know, 3:30 to 5. I assume that's. I never know with Indiana and Louisville. I think it's Eastern time, so you're in your overtime mode. But no, I really appreciate it. In my travels, K9EID has come in and voluntarily been listening, and with the help over the years, it's nice to have mentors like Bob Heil, Silent Key, and now you, Jim, that is doing a real service to our little community of radio nerds, if you will. So I really appreciate it. I won't keep it, and consider it an honor to have a chat with you. And I look forward to hitting your YouTube, KC9VKV. Excuse. Well, we might confirm that. I wrote down VKV. I think it's VKF. And I wrote down Series 1. Or episode 1, maybe series 3000, is that correct?
Just KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. Should bring this up. It would be cut number 1 on that search. Roger, Roger.
Okay, and when I hit that search, do I hit my call sign then? Over?
No, not right at that point. I do cut these. Usually, I cut these up into individual portions where I can put call signs on them. But on the longer piece, it's just by the date, which today is 9/13/24. But later on in the week, I will cut this longer piece up into shorter pieces per QSO. Roger.
I love it. Very, very good. I won't hold it because I keep hearing people jumping in between us. And I don't know if you need to get out of here or not, but I've got some water running outside. It's very dry here in eastern Iowa, so I need to move the old garden hose. And like I said, it was just pure chance, irony, a sprinkle on my side, if you will, that I was just happened to run into you. I recognized the voice right away, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is." Jim, it gives me the fizz. You take care. I got this down in the logbook as a big old star by it. KC9VKV, Kevin here, Eastern Iowa, KQ0U.
Roger, Roger. That's Kevin. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger. Thank you very much.
Roger, Kevin, 73 that way, sir. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. And gosh, if there's other stations out there, traffic for the KC9VKV Qso-Vlog net, give me a shout.